KnifeDope. More dope. Come and get your fix. What's up, fuckers? Your boy's back with a fresh batch of dope. KnifeDope. That's right, people. The hits don't stop. Oh man, do I got a rare video for you fuckers today. That's right. You know I never shit you. Y'all remember this one from a few videos back. This is the Riot PLXT or some shit like that. This is actually Riot's first attempt at sticking their toe into the budget realm, you know? I think the feedback for the most part has been pretty good on this one. I don't mind it, you know? Granted, it is, I guess, to be honest, I think that this is probably just outside of budget as far as pricing goes. These come in just over 100. I think this one was like 112 prior to any discount code. But if you manage to get one of these on White Mountain or on D&K Knives, you can use KnifeDope for 10% off, which is what I did. So with that 10%, I think I came in just over 100. This one might have been 117 or 112, some shit like that. But needless to say, you know, this is just outside of budget spear for the general consensus for the most part being this is just outside of budget. Now what they're giving us for that 100 or just over $100 is debatable. You know, we've got nitro V-blade steel, which I don't mind. Micarta scales over full-length stainless steel liners. I think the biggest acclaim to this knife, obviously, is this this locking mechanism that they got. Some type of a pivot lock. I did a whole disassembly of this knife, so you can check that out. But being that this is the most recent budget acquisition I ended up getting, I decided to do something which I normally don't do, and that is get another budget knife. Doing it for the culture. So after we check out this this new budget offering from MBK, I'm going to give you guys 10 of my favorite budget knives in my collection. Yep, I still got a few. So without further ado, let's get to the dope. Now, MBK has really started to impress me, you know. I've never checked out anything from a budget side of things. As a matter of fact, I think this might be their only budget release. This comes in under $100. This is $60 price point. I got this at River's Edge Cutlery. Big shout out to Brian and the crew at River's Edge Cutlery. Always so good to your boy. And it comes with extra couple of extra pocket clips, a nice little extra set of hardware. Now you're probably wondering what the hell it is. This is the Mini Old Guard. Shit, she's tiny. So we've got G10 scales, slight contour nature going on. Now they call this gray. To me, that's blue all day. But nonetheless, we've got single form of deployment, which is a nice robust set of tits. Okay. D10's a little bit light on this one, but that can easily be fixed. We've got 7 inches as far as overall length. So I guess we call that like a medium size knife. I think it's right in my preferred sizing though. You know, anything from like 6.75 to 7.75 is my sweet spot. But nonetheless, 3 inches as far as blade length. We've got 14C 28N for your blade steel. I haven't bought a knife with 14C for quite a while. We've got a nice drop point blade here with a little bit of poon action for your thumb to rest nicely. Beautiful machine satin finish on the blade. We've got 130 thousandths for your blade stock thickness. Not extremely thin behind the edge, but nonetheless, I imagine she's going to be a nice slicey little hoe. We do have a nested liner lock. This is riding on washers, so very glassy smooth. But, you know, if you're after that straight drop action, this would not be the knife for you. 3.2 ounces as far as weight goes, so nice lightweight carry. We got a quarter length G10 backspacer as well. I believe they've got several different colors to this knife. Now, I don't anticipate this sticking around. I guess I'll just go ahead and do a giveaway, because I've got quite a few knives I want to give away, people. I really do. I'm just lazy. That's all that is, you know. But stay tuned. I will have to do something this week because I got to give back to my people. What the fuck you want me to tell you? Let's go ahead and put some knives up for some size comparison, and then we're going to get to that list of 10. Basically, a little bit of knife flexing. You know how the fuck we do. Gotta roll with America first. We're going to start out with the Spyderco Parrot 3. That is a recent acquisition for me. So here you see that. More Spyderco vibes. We're going to go with the iconic PM2. So there you see that mini old guard up against those. Let's do a couple more, shall we? How about a Ray Laconico design? We're looking at the premium version of the old guard. Now, you know, I fucked up. I should have told you guys. This mini old guard is the Ray Laconico design. You know, Ray Laconico is partnered up with Sanford Owen. They are the owners of MontereyBayKnives. And of course, this is their design as well. All right. How about this one? The Penguin. Another legendary knife in its own right. And I think that mini old guard is about the same size as that Penguin, quite a bit smaller than the full-size old guard. Two mo, goddammit, two mo. This has been a really enjoyable one for me this year, and that is the Asher Akuto. Similar blade style. You can see a rather similar blade shape with that forward down canting drop point blade. Last but certainly not least, another one of my favorites this year, and that is the Wee Cubit. So the mini old guard is smaller than both of those. Yes, people, it's time. Budget Dope is back in the building. Let me show you guys 10 of my favorite, or maybe just 10 of my remaining budget knives in my collection. I'm going to put these in order from my least favorite to my most favorite. Coming in hot. First up is this one from Best Techman. I love the Dundee. This one is the mini Dundee. Would have really loved it if they would have given us some 14C, but this is in D2. But for the price point, you can't go wrong with that. These come in at like $30-something. They've even got these Titanized. This is an O-stop Hell design, but they've got some type of a Titanized coating on the blade. So, you know, D2 is not a true stainless steel. So to prevent any corrosion or rusting, they put a nice, gorgeous Titanized finish on that blade. Some type of a Cerakote almost. Same finish on the pocket clip, G10 scales. This is a nested liner lock. Plenty of room for disengagement. Straight drop action. Flipper is tuned to perfection. I love the mini Dundee. I really do. I actually love O-stop Hell designs as well. So that is number 10 on my list of budgets. Number 9 is one that I got last year. This was one of the few budget pickups I kept last year that I bought. This is the QSP Canary. 14C 28M is the steel. This is the very first release after they dropped the fixed blade version of this, or rather the neck knife. These come in an array of colors. I chose the black G10. We've got speed holes, liner lock for your locking mechanism, thumb studs for deployment. This comes in at like $38, give or take. Stainless steel reversible pocket clip, riding on bearings. You can't fucking beat it. Great little knife. I think this is a little bit smaller than the mini old guard as far as overall size goes. Then we've got a legendary budget knife. This one could be higher on the list, but I got it coming in at number 8, and that is the Petrified Fish Mini Beluga. I tell you, Petrified Fish, if you're listening, give us a premium version of this knife. I'd be all over it. But we've got a drop point blade with quite a bit of belly. 14C 28N once again. This is the G-Mascus G10 version. They've got several versions. Stainless steel liners, G10 backspacer, integrated lanyard post for those weirdos. Truly deep carry, reversible pocket clip. You've got 2 forms of deployment, front flipper, and then you've also got this fuller. I've got the pivot tightened down quite a bit. That's why the action is not as straight droppy as you might expect. Fantastic knife, coming in right around $50. And that is the goddamn, what is that again? Mini Beluga. Okay, this next one is very important in our community. Coming from Kuby and coming from the legendary Mr. Colin Mason Pierre, one half of them Devo boys. This is the Kuby Royal. Now, if you know anything about this knife model, you'll know that this was the model that inspired Mr. Lefty, to actually reach out to Colin, his partner, to then form what is now known as the Devo Knives Conglomerate. I love this knife. You've got multiple forms of deployment. You got plenty of a huge cutout, minimal flipper tab. D10 is tuned to perfection. D2 is the steel. Now they've got they did come out with a premium version last year of this knife. I was fortunate enough to have Mr. Collins send it to me to check out. I loved it. This has got G10 over stainless steel liners. We've got some type of a black wash, I'm assuming. Yeah, a black wash finish on the blade. I actually replaced the pocket clip that comes on here with a Vass Nightshade pocket clip. I just don't think I like the one that came on here originally. But nonetheless, fantastic offering. This one comes in, I think, under 50, maybe around 30 bucks now. They used to be a little bit higher. But that is the Kuby Royal. Okay, coming in at number 5, one of the most popular budget knives last year. This is the Migon Moro. Now, mine, of course, is a little bit different than what you would get. Mine has been customized by a friend of the channel. As a matter of fact, this was donated to me by Mr. Al, otherwise known as Hungry Bird 1970. He's so talented, man. He went ahead and actually, I think he said he wet sanded these scales, these G10 scales, so they're actually contoured. Now, once I saw this, man, there was no way I would, I couldn't imagine why Migon wouldn't consider something like this. It just changed the knife for me as far as ergos and appearance goes. But we got a nice drop point blade. I believe this is a PVD finish on the 14C. We've got a nice teardrop shape for your cutout. Great ergos due to that nice finger choil, so you can accommodate the full purchase, no refund. Titanium pocket clip, G10 backspacer. I did install skips on mine, but once again, I've got my pivot tightened down pretty tight, so therefore it's just not as free-falling on the drop shut. But a wonderful knife, coming in about $50. Several different versions to choose from. I think they've even given us a premium version to this knife now. But that is the Migon Moro. Top 5, goddammit, here we go. We've got one that is also very important to me in my journey. This one was the very first knife that showed me the capability of a good budget knife. This is coming to us from OG. OG, of course, being Mr. Sharif Manganis. This is one of his designs, and this is the Kuby Momentum. Now, I bought this knife, this exact one you see here in front of you, back in April of 2022. So in theory, this is one of my longest tenured knives in the collection. Stay tuned on this design because there's more to come. But nonetheless, D2 blade steel. This is one of the earlier versions. I think now they come in AUS 10 or AUS 8 or some shit. But we got a nice drop point blade with a little bit of harpoon vibes. Nice bit of belly. High to full flat grind. We've got a nice stonewash finish. Multiple forms of deployment that are tuned to perfection. You got a great front flipper as well as a nice set of thumb studs. Ergonomically, such a treat. Liner lock is the locking mechanism, straight drop action, reversible deep carry pocket clip, right or left hand tip up. Love this goddamn knife so much that I may have had to pull the trigger on the premium. You just never know. But that is the Kuby Momentum. Big shout out to OG Sharif. Okay, we're getting to the last 4, people. Now, this next one is coming to us from Kaiser. I tell you, when it comes to budget knives, I think, you know, we've got a lot of brands that have thrown their hats in the into the competition, but I think Kaiser is still king of the mountain, so to speak. This is coming from their Towser series, which I think is my favorite series of Kaiser. This one in particular is my favorite out the Towser series. This is the Towser S. This is a nice sheep's foot apparatus, 154 cm black wash blade. We've got micarta scales over stainless steel liners. D10 is dialed the fuck in. She flies out, comes right back to the goddamn house. These are actually riding on multi-row bearings. I also did swap out that pocket clip with a Kaiser titanium pocket clip because your boy is a titanium hoe. We've got a nice spot for you to choke up, so the full purchase is always comfortable and always there. I love this knife. Love the entire Towser series, but in particularly, this Towser S does it for me. Okay, top 3, baby. We got to have Vass Nightshade. Can't forget about Vass Nightshade, and we cannot forget about the Nightshade. The TH rendition stands for thanks, ho. No, stands for thumb hole. But we got this wonderful kukri cutter style blade here. 154 cm crown spine. This has got a black wash finish on it. Contoured micarta scales over stainless steel liners. Once again, Kaiser to the rescue. I put a titanium Kaiser deep carry pocket clip. Amazing action, fantastic ergos. Cutting geometry is insane. Love the way we've got a downward canted blade here. So your blade is going to always be pointing at the material. Such a fantastic knife. I love it. I think this is actually Vastid's flagship model, if I'm being honest with you. This is what put them on the map. And this is by far my favorite design of theirs. And that one was the Nightshade from Vastid. Okay, next up. These were kind of, I guess we can go either way with these, but this is the way I chose them. Number 2 on the list, the unofficial overseas knife of the channel, another Ray Laconico design. You know her name. You've seen her before. We're talking about the CJRB Echo. Now, this one is the button lock rendition, and this one is also in titanium. They've got a stainless steel version of this for about $50, and they've also got a liner lock version in micarta for around the same price. Titanium, I believe right now is probably coming in under 100. When I bought this one, I think I paid like 120 or something like that, or maybe 100. But we've got that fantastic plunge lock, which CJRB/Artisan has done so well. Milled titanium pocket clip, fantastic detent to be a button lock. Multiple forms of deployment. You got a nice front flipper, and you've got that pill-shaped cutout. I love the knife. Bought it about 3 goddamn times. This is the sole remaining one in the collection. And she ain't going nowhere, baby. And that is the CJRB Echo. Now, number 1 on my list for budget knives is this one. The most expensive mini roach known to man. We've got another Kaiser in the building. This is the Matt Degnan design mini roach. Now, this is another one just like that Kuby Momentum that has been probably one of my longest tenured knives in the collection. Love this design so much that I spent more than the knife cost on these custom scales from Carbonize. These are what I call like a seafoam green carbon fiber twill scales, along with that same carbon fiber backspacer to match. Once again, threw on a deep carry titanium pocket clip from Kaiser. We got a nice pill shape for your cutout. That's your only form of deployment. Actually, I lie. These come with a flipper tab that is removable, so I removed mine. Fantastic detent. Look at that fucking blade shape, people. We got a nice spear point blade, 154 cm, deep, and I mean deep hollow grind. Love that stonewash finish. I've got mine riding on skiffs. Liner lock is your locking mechanism. Look at the ergos on this thing. Look at the way that handle just kind of melts into your hand. You add that up with that finger choil, take that hollow grind, add it all together, and what do you get? She's a slicey hoe. That's right. So that was number 1 on my budget knives list. Now, granted, these scales take it out of the budget realm, but the knife itself, you don't have to put scales on it. You can get this knife and experience the wonderful thing that is the mini roach for about $50 at this point. Well, there you have it, people. Goddammit. What do you want to tell you? Budget knives are here again for your viewing pleasure. But more importantly, I want to know what you fuckers think. Is there any budget knives I forgot to mention? What are some of y'all's favorites? Tell me all about it. Love you, mean it. Until the next time, cut something, cut someone, just don't cut yourself. Stay dangerous, fuckers!